Today we are going to work with cross sections and slicing 3D figures. The date is August 15th. Your IXL that's associated with the lesson is T.4 and this is page number 5. This should be a pretty simple and quick lesson that we're going to go over. When we are looking at slicing 3D figures, it's as if you were to cut across the three-dimensional figure and identify what two-dimensional shape would be cut out there. So when we are slicing this cone and it's sliced parallel to its base, the cross section that is a result will actually just be a circle. So that's the two-dimensional shape that you see there. Okay, so here when we are slicing the cylinder, the two-dimensional shape is whatever is here inside that we've sliced. So this one will look like this, and it will just be our circle. Make sense? All right, what we've cut across here will look like this. And it's just our parallelogram, right? So we're able to see what it is that has gone through the three-dimensional shape itself. So you could identify this as a parallelogram, or more specifically, it would also be identified as a rectangle, because we're not going to have the same distance here that we would have here. Okay? Let's look at number 15. The shape here is interesting. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides. So a 6-sided figure is going to be what we call a hexagon. Hexa meaning 6. Okay? Here we've cut across, it's just a triangle. Well, this one's interesting. Look at number 17. So the shape that we've got is going to be a triangle. All right, and I think you can figure out most of these, but even let's look at 19 as well. 19, if you're taking a look at it. What shape is that? Yeah, it's a trapezoid. Okay, so we've got an idea of what slicing a three-dimensional figure looks like and figuring out the two-dimensional shape that is considered the cross section. There is an IXL associated with this, but before you do the IXL, take a look at the back of your notes and make sure to go ahead and give a shot with how to identify these specific cross sections. And then some will ask you about like what each shape below is after it's been rotated about the line. So if you're rotating this triangle about the line, I don't know if you realize that, but it's going to, as it's rotating around, it's going to create this image. But down here, the bottom pieces are going to be circular. They're going to wind up, as you rotate, circling around and around, you're going to wind up with a cone. So keep that in mind when you're drawing images of something circling around a line. And then also, let's take a look at number 10 as well. Number 10 will represent a cone, but it's going to have a hole in the center, if you see this. If this triangle is rotating around this line, it will be rotating around the line and turn into a cone like we talked about in number 13, but there will be like a cylinder cut out in the center, right? So it's going to rotate all the way around, and these edges are going to be rounded off, okay? So just keep that in mind when you're talking about this rotation. If you need a real good example of one with a hole cut out in the center, you can see what it looks like down here with this cylinder. This is something that has been rotated around a line, similarly to number 10. All right, so give those a try and see how you do with them, and we'll go over them in class as well, just to make sure everybody's got a good understanding of what those look like. It also, the IXL that you've got that's linked up with this lesson is really good about visually describing and showing it to you as well. All right, good luck.